Welcome everyone to our next Wrike Lightspeed training session. We're very, very excited to have you with us today. And here on the slide, you can see the team that is going to be facilitating this training for you today. First and foremost, we have our amazing Kim. She's the Senior Professional Services Consultant here at Wrike. Thanks so much, Kim. And my name is Lisa. I'm a community lead, and we also have our amazing, actually a couple of people from our product marketing team. We have Andrey, and we also have Annie. Sorry, Annie, that you are not on this slide, but yeah, this was a little bit last minute, so I think no worries. So thank you all so much for joining this training today. So first of all, why are we here? Obviously, we are here because of Wrike Lightspeed. You probably know already that Wrike Lightspeed is an innovation of Wrike's classic platform that combines modern user experience, easy-to-use navigation, and elevated performance. And now let's take a closer look at our agenda today. So we have those 5 main elements of Wrike Lightspeed, and those are simplified navigation, new table view, new item view, new board view, and the new chart view. So you may notice that we actually have some additions here. Like for example, for the new table view, we are going to be talking about grouping, which is a very new thing that was just released last week. And then we're also going to be talking about some innovations for the new item view, like the location or tags, and also the mode switcher. You will notice that you have access to the Q&A box, so you can put your questions there throughout the session. We may be able to take some of them during the session, some of them like maybe in the end of this call when we have the Q&A time. So yeah, just please feel free to share your feedback or question to the Q&A box. Okay, so without further ado, I think that we can begin talking about the simplified navigation first. So just taking a very quick step back, let's just see what it was before Wrike Lightspeed. So before the simplified navigation, the normal navigation was a little bit less customizable. And you will notice this kind of theme throughout this whole training. Wrike Lightspeed brings a lot of customizations with it, and a lot of things that you were not able to customize before, it's now possible. So yeah, let's take a closer look at the main highlights of the simplified navigation. So first of all, more or less everything has been moved to the left side navigation bar. So we have the search and inbox here as well. And those are persistent. So even if you scroll down and you have like a very long list of spaces, for example, you will still have the search and your inbox available. Also, you still have the pin section, of course, where you can pin your important work. We have the space menu here that you can customize. For example, you can hide some spaces or you can move them around depending on how often you need to use them. We also have moved the profile picture menu to the left side so that everything is in this one space. We also have this more button here where you can customize which tools you'd like to be pinned here. So you can hide some of them, you can bring them to the main sidebar as well. And also you can choose whether you want all your spaces to be shown or only a selected space. Okay, so now moving on to the demo time where Kim is going to demonstrate how it looks like in your workspace.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that introduction to simplified navigation. Let me get my technology properly worked out. Hi, everyone. Today, all the Lightspeed news that's fit to be printed. We've got everything fun happening here. As mentioned, I'm going to start with the simplified navigation on the left-hand side. Your avatar, access to your profile, has shifted over here to the left-hand side. You can see right here, Marketing Ronald. I have access to my settings, so if you need to do email preference changes or any accessibility actions, you can do that there. But what I'd like to point out is hidden here inside of our profile is access to the recycle bin, right? So if you were looking for that previously, that's been tucked up now underneath here. Search is new. We've got a lovely new command that you can type in. Command K for my Mac users, Control K for everyone else. What's nice is that when you click into the search bar, we also have recent tasks and recent items that you've interacted with here as well. So if you're used to that previously on the old home screen, you can now find those items tucked away underneath the search. Again, all of the major tools and quick, easy access items are located here at the top. And as mentioned, underneath the More button here, we have the ability to customize what this looks like. So if for you, the My To Do is something that you are visiting all of the time, we definitely can come in here and bring that up to the top of the list. Now, just a reminder, anywhere that you see inside the platform a little bit of Braille, that means you can click and hold and reorganize the items. When you see a blue line, you know you've landed and that the item will sit there. Again, eyeballs means we're not going to look at it and we're going to hide it. So I've saved my little customized view there, and we can see my easy access to all of those items are right there. These are my aggregated account tools, but what about folder locations and other tools elsewhere? That's when the pinned section comes in handy. If you don't see the pinned section right this moment, it's probably because you don't have anything pinned yet. So if you're playing along at home, go ahead and find a folder, pin it real quick, and this section will open up for you. What I really, really like about the pin section is that we can reorder items here as well. So we're not forced anymore to that alphanumeric sorting in the folder structure within our pin environment. So this way we can get any number of folders or tools right at our fingertips. Next up, we have a little bit of space maintenance and administration that you can customize and control depending on how you like to see things. Right now, I have the settings set to show only the selected space. This way, if I need to focus on my work and I need to focus on what's happening, I can just see one space here on the sidebar. And if I need to navigate to others, I can click on the dropdown and I can see the other spaces that I have access to. Now, maybe I'm a space or an account admin and I need to see more spaces, or I just like clicking through the different spaces I have access to. And for you, the view you will like is all my spaces. When you select all my spaces, you can see here when I scroll down that the rest of the spaces that Marketing Ronald has access to are listed here at the bottom. Another thing that I like about the new navigation is that we can also rearrange our spaces when we have this view. You can't go above your personal space, and unfortunately, you can't hide your personal space. But any of these other ones, we can go and hide and start to clean some of this environment up so that the ones we interact with the most are at the top. And then, of course, our hidden spaces are tucked away nice and tidy down here at the bottom. Your shared with me and your blueprints have also been moved over into this location. And one thing that I really, really like is that these settings, if you're a space admin, we can click on this little gear icon and that'll take us there with fewer clicks. While we're here, real quickly, our view organization has been improved as well. By default, we'll show you the top 3. You can also reorder the top 3 if you want. And in the dropdown now, we have, again, the ability to grab different views and order them the way that we want to. Pretty nice, right? We can also pin the view if we want. And of course, a lot of other actions that we can do here. When we review table view, we'll get into some of these other actions here, so I don't want to be rude, but I would like to shift your attention to the simplified header here at the top, where you can find access to your request forms, workflows, blueprints, if you're an admin, and other quick apps and integrations. So that's a little bit more about our simplified navigation. Lisa?
Thanks so much, Kim. Actually, we got a question about the recycle bin. To be honest, I am not sure that I know the answer to this question, so maybe you can help us. So recycle bin, because yeah, you did mention it. So can you only see items you have deleted, or can you see items deleted by anyone in your team or using the same space or spaces?
I believe that it's everything that everybody deletes everywhere. I'm seeing nods from the rest of the team here, yeah. So it's an aggregated view.
Thank you, Kim. All right, so let me share my screen as we move on to the next view, and it's going to be, as I shared previously, my personal favorite, the new table view. So again, taking a quick step back, the classic table was less flexible. It had longer loading time, especially for bigger tables with a lot of items in it, and it was less customizable, and it lacked some of the ability that is available now. So now let's take a quick look at that. So the best thing about the new table view is that it is a combination, the best of the two worlds, the classic list view and the classic table. So, but it doesn't only combine, you know, all the goodness of those two views, but it also comes with a lot of new functionality that just wasn't available previously. For example, the mass actions that we all know and love, they are not only available in the new table view, but they are also available for the projects as well as tasks, which is amazing. And it has a faster loading time, especially again for the bigger tables with lots and lots of items. It has a compact view, it has clickable links, it has color-coded custom fields, and now it also has grouping. So this wasn't available before, but now you can use the group menu like it's demonstrated on the screenshot, and you can group by either system fields or any of a custom field that this particular table view is using. But that's not all. We've now introduced the sub-items menu where you can choose to show your tasks in a single list of tasks. So what it gives you is it's kind of very close to what we had with the list view. So it's just a very simple list. So if in some cases you really need just this very simple list of your tasks without any hierarchies, then you can just use this option and you will notice how similar it looks to what we had in the table. Oh, sorry, in the list view. Another thing is the files column. So the files column can be enabled in the fields menu. And what it gives you is basically it shows all the files attached to different items. You can very easily add new files, delete files. You can see the unresolved proofing comments there as well. So yeah, I think it's a great addition. So now, Kim, if you're ready to demonstrate how it looks like in a workspace, thank you.
All right, so I've shifted gears over to my events team so that we can take a look at some of the assets that are being developed for some upcoming events. We're looking at the new table view right here. It's all of its glory. You can see right away that it is, the UI has been updated to be a little bit more friendly and a little bit more approachable. The one thing that I really, really like about it though is there is just so much power. So let's get started with the first one that I like, as mentioned, folders, projects, and tasks. We can do some mass editing to all of these different item types, right? We can see the change the status, update assignees, dates, location, and so on. This is really, really powerful and can also use Shift to get us all the way down the list as well. So the behaviors that you would expect with regards to mass actions and selecting all of those can be performed with all of our items now. So that's really nice. Additionally, this view can be further customized using the ellipses or three-dot menu here at the end of the row. I'm going to do some adjustments so you can see what the differences are. First and foremost, we're going to go compact. So if you're used to seeing things a little bit more like some of our other table-based platforms, this is going to get you that view. Additionally, I've got turned on parent row. I'm going to turn it off real quick so you can see the difference. Parent row gives us the location of where this item is within the folder structure on the left-hand side here. So you can see I get active events back in. I don't know about you, but I personally like to have this here, especially if I've hidden the panel here on the left-hand side. I want to be able to find where I'm at. We can also turn on cell borders. So if you need to see some of that differentiation, you can there. And then, of course, when it comes to filtering and showing some of the items that we do or don't want to see, you have some options here to turn those on or off. Okay. So I really like that about the table view, that we have full control visually over how things are looking. Now, for some of the new things that are just fresh out, we've got grouping. So you can see here, my table is really, really rich. I've got some event region happening, event types. And up here in my menu, I can choose group. And here, depending on the fields that I have available in my table, I can now select one of these and group this table by that selection. So let's go with event region. Nice. So now We can see all of that same information as if we were in a report, but we didn't exit this view at all. We are still in the table view. And now we can take advantage of grouping, which is amazing, and see this data in a new way because of that grouping. We can gain deeper insights into what is happening with this information. So the other thing that I like is you can see here that color has really been brought forward inside of the new table view as well. So with my custom fields, I've chosen some nice pretty colors, and that gets carried over into my grouping as well. So lots of visual delight. You can see pictures for our assignees so we can collaborate and feel more connected. And then our status colors are nice and bright here as well. You'll see that I have the files column turned on as a reminder that can be found here in the fields dropdown. And while we're at it, we have a nice little search bar here as well. So if there are a lot of custom fields that you're trying to get through, please do take advantage of that. All right. So we've got the files field here. I'm going to actually expand this to default so we can see these pretty little thumbnails a little bit better. And when I hover, you can see that this one has a comment, but where's Rob? Gob's down here. We can see that this one has a pending approval, right? So very, very easily, right from the table view, we're able to hover over and get a lot of information about the files that are attached to these items. If we click on the three-dot menu, we can also open, download, or delete these items as well. It's pretty nice. I've used this a lot in my own work just to be able to see where attachments are very quickly. It's super nice. While we're at it, we've got clickable hyperlinks inside the table view as well. So let's take full advantage of that when and where we can. You can also use Wrike permalinks inside of here as well, too. So if we need to do some cross-referencing to some other items, we can include that here. If you're looking for roll-ups, they're no longer in the menu. We've got min and max buttons now. When you are in a date-related cell, you can hover over the min and max and click on that, and that will activate the roll-up of items for you. Just a quick reminder, what that means is Wrike is going to take a look at the first start date of the first task and the last due date of the last task and roll that up to the project level for you so you can see that there. We also have some nice additions to the filtering and sorting here, right? So we've got that in. Come and click and you see the nice panel that comes out on the right-hand side. And just as a reminder, if you're using custom item types, there's a nice little filter there for you.
Kim, sorry, just a quick second. So we have a question, and if you can maybe demonstrate that, how do you add color to custom fields?
Oh yeah, that's a great question. So let's maybe go find one. Let's just go into one. It's all right. When you create a new custom field, there will be this option for a little toggle button here on the right-hand side to add colors. Right? So it's kind of hidden there up at the top. The default ones pop out, but you do have the ability to come in and adjust these. So if you're looking for a certain kind of, heat map or heat scale or something like that, you can come in and implement that quite easily if you like.
Thank you, Kim.
Braille. Yeah, I also like that there's Braille here too. And while we're at it, just because bonus tip, you can copy paste into this list as well if you have a lot of things you want to add. And then the last thing I want to show, yeah, absolutely, before I hand it back to you, Lisa, is how do we make this look like list view? Right, lots of conversation about that. So let's go through that together. So we're going to turn off our cell borders. All right, turn off the parent row. We're going to make sure that we turn off some of the fields that we don't need to see. So we're going to turn off files. Oh, no, we want due date. That one we do keep. Turn all these guys off here as well. Yeah. No, we want that one. Status, title, due date. There we go. I believe, I can't remember the order. Yes, we got it. And then the last thing that we want to do is up here where it says sub items. You'll know now that we have this selection where you can say single list of tasks. And this is the same as, collapsing the folder structure and collapsing the whole structure entirely so that we get that nice, discrete, flattened view of everything that we have in one place. And here, it's nice to click through everything. We're about to talk about work item view here in just a moment, but having the list item view here and the work item view in combination with this flattened kind of setup can make it easy for you to go through your items. All right.
No, that's very cool. Thanks, Kim.
Absolutely.
Okay, moving on. to the new item view. So before the new item view, we had classic views for tasks, folders, and projects that were a little bit cluttered with less flexible UI. And now we have introduced a lot of very cool things to make this very customizable and yeah, just bring the modern UI to the Wrike platform. So first of all, you will notice the three main fields here for status, assignee, and dates. And then you also have this panel underneath it with the options to add sub-items, add files, add approvals, dependencies, and also your time tracker is here. And if you have a long item description and you scroll down, this panel will be still accessible to you. Next up, we have the button for your fields that can be found here as demonstrated. Then we have icons to easily differentiate between tasks and projects and custom item types, which have unique icons. We have the three-dot menu here that should look very familiar. Basically, all of the regular things like starring items, adding them to my to-do, sharing, following, unfollowing, integrations, all of that can be found here. And next to it, we have the item permalink button as well. This is a very exciting one, actually, and this didn't exist before. So we added quick search, just like Kim just demonstrated for the table view. You can search for fields. You can do the same in the item view as well. You can search not just the names of the fields, but also values. So in this setup, the inherited fields can be located in this More Fields panel. But the most exciting thing is that we now have the mode switcher, and the mode switcher allows you to switch between either a side panel view of your fields or a rolling down section. So you get to choose the layout of your custom fields. And another very exciting thing is that we have listened to your feedback and we brought back the tags under the item title. And now to demo time.
Right. Number three.
Oh, sorry. By the way, I just wanted to encourage folks to, like share your feedback, ask your questions in the Q&A box. We really appreciate them and happy to take them. Sorry, Kim, please go ahead.
Yeah, especially if you have a use case you'd like to kind of have a think about too. We can talk about that. We are here in a new space. We're in the creative services team now, and we're going to have a look through with the work item view. Again, table views where it's at. So we're starting off here, and just so that folks can get oriented a little bit when I say my next really cool thing, anything that is bold is going to be a project or a folder, and anything that is not bold is going to be a task. And what I really like about work item view is that we're standardizing how you interact with the information that these different items have. So regardless if you're in a folder or a project, if you happen to be in a task, the work item view is standardizing for you where you need to look to find the information to get the job done. So as mentioned, we've got our standards here at the top and then access to any sub items, files we may want to add, approvals are here as well. We'll dive into that here in just a little bit. And if available, you'll also see a time tracker here. This is a custom item type though. Just a quick review, custom item types or where we've taken, the basic building blocks inside of Wrike and we have applied to them a new kind of identity. So they get an icon, they get layouts that are unique to them and special automations as well. So while we're here, you may be wondering, well, where are the custom fields, all those columns, Kim, that you have showing there in your table view? They are located here inside of this nice little tab. I'm going to click on that and we can see the flyout of all of our custom fields here in a nice little table view. Now, we are, that's kind of like standard that we've had before where you scroll down and kind of get into the description area and see what's going on. But you do have the ability through that mode switcher, as Lisa mentioned, to move that over to the right-hand side. So that way the view gets even more compact and you're able to review the information in the description area and the custom fields at the same time. Now, while we're at it, this description field is feeling a little bit bare to me, and I would be remiss if I didn't quickly show you that we do have the ability for us to ask Wrike to help us with generating some description area with us. I'm going to ask to write a project brief for this mailing project. And we can see right away all of the the good points and things that I need to get the project started and get me off on a running start is getting generated for me here so that I can go back, review it, make the fine tweaks and changes that I need to have to make this applicable to my exact project. As I said before at the beginning of the call, it's a great tool to get me started down the road with things that I need to do. Additionally, as mentioned, we've got cross-tagging back up at the top here. These are folder locations and they work as hyperlinks as well. So if I were to click on this little button here, it's going to take me to that location. What's nice is that all of this is being leveraged off of what we call Wrike permalinks. Pretty much everything inside the platform has its own link that can be found wherever you see a link icon. You can also right-click on items to get the copy link dialog box to pop up. One thing I do want to point out about the Wrike permalink, it's nice and short and tidy, and it's a pretty little URL, very different from the one that we see in the browser. So please don't confuse the two. Sending the one in the browser is not going to make the magic that you want to see happen here with this particular permalink, right? So these are all locations, tags, and ways that you can connect things very easily right here inside the work item view. And just as a quick recap, right, we do have the 3-dot menu where you can star, add, follow, unfollow, and change item type too. Whenever we get into a deep discussion about that, it's just that easy to change things over. Let's see here. I want to point out one more thing. Where did it go? At the top, there's the search fields. When you have the mode switcher on the right, when the mode switcher is right on the bottom, it's there at the top, never goes away. Let's also talk quickly about the proofing button. All right, so here is where you can add approvals at task level, folder level, and at project level as well. And that is, as you can see, depending on what we've got going on and the reviews that are happening, that shows up in our file rollover as well. And then finally, I think the last thing I want to point out is that, as mentioned before, I'm in a custom item type here. We can tell because the icon is slightly different. Something that's really, really powerful that is demonstrated here in the work item view is that when you're leveraging a custom item type, you can control which custom fields are at the top or surfaced up to you immediately that apply to that particular item. So in this case, this is a creative asset. So we're very, very concerned about, well, what kind of asset is, what the size and what the aspect ratios, et cetera, are for this particular item. Whereas in the more fields section, we have access to the custom fields that are tagged into this folder location and structure that maybe aren't as critical. So here, custom item types, we have full control over the data points that we're surfacing to the top. Whereas with a regular task, right, you get the standard outline of importance and ID and author and all of that. So if you're curious about how you'd like to control some of that, a conversation about CITs is in order. Any questions?
Yeah. Kim, by the way, we have exactly like a question exactly about that. So we have one about custom fields. Are the custom fields in alphabetical order? So I think it's a great time to just touch a little bit on the CITs and the custom fields order.
Absolutely. So in the more field section, yeah, that's going to be a default thing that comes through. So you can see here leveraging special characters or anything like that will push that to the top of the list. But when we're configuring an actual custom item type itself, and you're in the configuration window and managing things, let's just go take a quick look at that so I don't have to talk with my hands because that's ridiculous. Let's make a deadline. Seems like fun. And we're going to change the picture because that's best practice. We don't want to confuse this custom item type with another. And again, when you're back here, you see the braille and the eyeballs are in full effect. So as we've kind of learned throughout the Lightspeed update, wherever you see braille or eyeballs, that gives you the opportunity to come in and order this in any way that you want. So it does not have to be in alphabetical order when you're configuring your custom item type. Yeah?
Thank you, Kim. Yeah. Good. That's very cool. All right, so let's move on. And our next topic is going to be the new board view. So here's how the classic board looked like before we introduced the new board view. So again, it was less flexible. It didn't have some of the functionality that is currently available, like, for example, subtask management, some of the task editing options. and a different, like less modern UI and less customization possibilities. And now with the new board view, you get subtask previews, you get customizable task cards. You can again use the color-coded custom fields here for personalization. You can open your items without like closing the board view. So you can still use the board view and have your item open, because before that, the tasks opened in overlay mode. So you were not able to continue using board view and look at your items at the same time. And you also get the fresh and clean layout of the new board view. So Kim, ready to demonstrate the board view for us?
Absolutely. Let's go in. It's the board view. One of the reasons why I really like board view is that it is visually a nice place to hang out, especially for my creatives. So we're back in the creative services space here again. And we've got the board view in full effect. As mentioned, there are some new updates to how you can interact and view with the cards that are here inside the board view. So just a quick kind of set of navigation for folks here at the top. When we are talking about custom fields and the small data points that we want to surface in our cards, you will find that in the cards header dropdown. So right now you can see I'm showing up asset type, but let's say I would like to surface the event region and maybe the event date as well. So you can see there right away as I fine tune this and turn on those different custom fields, they pop up right away inside all of my cards. All right. The other thing that's really nice about this is that we can see our little sub items that these that are living inside here, right? And right away, we get the ability to see the status, see the date, and interact with these a little bit more. I also like that we can come into the, right, click on the thing. Yep, sorry. And the work item view pops out. And so we get the board view still with this nice little scrolling, right? But we can click through the different items that we need to. So we keep the context of what it is that we're working on while still getting into the little minor details that we have there with the work item view. Additionally, we have up here at the top grouping as well. Now this grouping is a little bit more restricted than what we see in the table view. You only get the option to choose by assignee, but that is incredibly powerful, right? So at a glance now, I can see my different designers and my different resources on the team and see what it is that they happen to be working on right here from the board view, right? So that's nice. And you can see also that we, with the new UI with Lightspeed, right, carrying that colorful experience from the table view into the board view as well. So where we're setting some standards with some coloring inside the custom fields, you can really begin to have a nice color visual language inside the platform here so that people can start to get consistency with the data points that they're starting to see inside the system. Yeah, I think that's the big stuff there. Lisa, any questions come through?
Yeah, so if you have other workflows in use which are not the default, for example, projects, how would you show these in board view?
Right, so we can only show one workflow at a time, right? And so we are right now showing the creative workflow, and there are those items there. For items that might be in this location but are using a different workflow, those are going to be all the way over and listed here on the right. I don't have any items that do that. Let's see if we can test that out and make sure that I'm not speaking out the side of my face. Go find that one here. There it is. So we can see that noted here from other workflows. That way we're not losing sight of the task and what's going on, but we still can see it here at the far end. Any other questions?
Let me see. No, not at the moment. So I think that we can move on. Let me just share my screen again. And I think that we are about to discuss, the chart view. So we don't have a before slide here because the chart view did not exist before. It's a completely new self-service tool for analytics. It helps you to slice and dice your data. And now, since the last training, it actually was updated. So now we have not 6, but 12 visual chart types and different popular breakdowns, including custom fields. We have drill downs. We have filters available for items and for custom fields, and it also supports the financial and budgeting data if you are on Enterprise Pinnacle. And yeah, demo time again.
All right. Charts are near and dear to my heart. Let's find the way to get to this view is in the drop down here. You can add view and you'll see chart listed here, kind of somewhere in the middle. When you first create your first chart, we give you like your first little widget here or tab, as you can see. And in this example, I've got a couple of tabs that I've created here to just tell a more robust story about what's happening with the asset types for my creative team. So the first tab that I have is just a real high overview, right? What are all of the things that are going on right now? We've got 36 tasks, things that are happening. And using the visualization tab over here for my configuration panel, we can see that I've split this up first by status, right? And then I'm asking them to do an additional grouping by assignee. So here at a glance, I can see the statuses listed here at the bottom. And then leveraging the color coding, I can see what Evelyn is working on and what statuses that work is in. So this is a really nice way to not like get into the weeds with resource allocation or anything like that, but just kind of get a feel for who's working on what and kind of what stage things are in for them. So if new projects are coming in, I can maybe have a quick look here and see what's going on. Additionally, for my next tab, I've gone in and I'll show you when I create a new one for you, but I'm specifically looking at the custom item types that are creative assets, right? I want to kind of clear the noise away. Yes, we've got deadlines, we've got all this other stuff going on, but I'm really, really interested in just my creative assets. And of all my 36 tasks, there are 14 of them. And here I'm breaking it up by a custom field, right? So you are not only beholden to the ones that are kind of out of the box, but any custom fields that you have put in here, you have access to those as additional dimensions inside your charting. So you can see there's the option here to add a different custom field. I'm going to stick with marketing. Oh gosh, I'm going to stick with marketing channel for now. And then we can add another grouping in here if we like to take advantage of some of our grouped charts that we have here in the platform. Next up, I have a further refinement of my 14 tasks. I would like to know which ones are active, right? So with a click of the button, we can see that 42% of my tasks, right, 6 out of 14, are active. We can see who's working on those, and we can see, the volume of that as well. So again, at a glance, these charts are telling us a lot of information about what's happening with our assets. And then, of course, this team does track time, and we're seeing who's tracking time, where, and how much, so we can start to get an aggregated view of the overall kind of cost and spend that this team is performing. We're going to add another tab together, right? And right here, you can see right away that we give you some quick access buttons to like, oh, maybe you want this calculation. And to create these ones here, I, on the left-hand side, selected my custom item type so that now the options that are being surfaced to me here are specific to that item type. And I can come in and say, I would like to maybe take a look at, let's see here, total approval duration. And right away, the widget comes up. We can see the new tab here at the top, and the information is here for us to start going through and selecting and seeing which visualization is actually going to be best for this data point that we've come up. You see lots of different things happen. Now, I would be remiss if we kind of ignored our lovely little filter tab over here on the right-hand side. Do keep in mind that this will allow us to further, right, choose the different items and filter into what we want to see inside of these charts. So if you were ever feeling like maybe like Analyze was just a little bit too much and you needed something in between, this chart view is a great place where you can come in and get those metrics and start converting them with your custom fields and seeing a lot of really wonderful charts come out of the system. Lisa, do you want to mention anything about how this is tied to dashboards, or we?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Kim. That was great. So yeah, we are not talking specifically about dashboards right now, but they're still in Wrike Labs. You can enable them from there. We have just posted a community post about the new dashboards just today, so you are very welcome to go and check it out. But I think that because there are so many updates happening to the new dashboards at the moment, we are going to do like another training session specifically on that a little bit later on. But don't worry, we will definitely be covering them as well for sure.
Yes. Okay.
If you don't mind, I will mention one thing about chart view and dashboards.
Please.
So the chart view, it's not a tool. Yeah, when you work with tools in Wrike, like reports or dashboards or workload, it connects things from different locations, from different spaces, from different projects. And this is what you're gonna be doing with the new dashboards when they come to the full release to replace the classic dashboards. But the chart view, what's important to know, it's a view, and every view in Wrike, like table view, board view, Gantt view, it works on a level of project, folder, or space, and it means that it's just one click away for every user. When you appear to be in the project and you want to analyze the split of the data across tasks, across item types, with the slice and dice by custom field, you just add a view, you just tailor it to yourself, you apply all the filters, all the breakdowns, and it's very easy to share with your colleagues or with your leaders so they can see the same breakdown. Yeah, it's very handy. So you don't need to go into tools, build something separate. It's just in the context of your work, and it's one click away for you.
Thanks. Thanks for adding that, Andrey, and thanks for demonstrating, Kim. So yeah, I can see that we have a question in chart view. As a leader, can we see the tasks breakdown? I think that what is meant here is a breakdown project.
Like of these 36
Yeah.
tasks, can we see a table view of those tasks? Yeah, maybe.
I'm not. Yeah, you're right. You're right,
Okay.
Kim. Yeah.
Not
Thanks for
in
clarifying.
chart view. Yeah, absolutely not in chart view. But when we discuss new dashboards, that is one of the things that's really nice about all of the Lightspeed integrations is that the connectivity between all of these different views is heightened, and so the experience that you're getting with configuring charts here in the chart view. So, for example, coming through and figuring out how you want to break stuff up is available inside the new dashboard, and the new dashboard also lets you do the little table, right? So you would be able to, for example, have a chart like this at the top and then a corresponding table underneath it as another widget inside of the new dashboard. So that's where we're kind of starting to blur the lines with our reporting and get everything to be more cohesive and united.
Oh, that's amazing. All right, we are unless anyone has any more questions specifically about chart view, we will then move on because we still have a couple of things to discuss today. And one thing that I wanted to mention to you all is that we are after the session is done, you are going to be asked to fill out an anonymous survey about this session. So please be sure to let us know your feedback. We'll take it all good and bad because we want to improve and we want to make sure that we bring the best training sessions to you all. So please fill out that survey. All right. So and please keep up the questions. Anything you have, we are happy to discuss because we still have some time left for that. So I just wanted to kind of summarize what we have discussed today. So Wrike Lightspeed is our updated Wrike platform that allows you to work efficiently by visualizing and managing your team's work. And it incorporates modern user experience and enhanced views and features that take your collaborative work to the next level. You have probably already started with Wrike Lightspeed because Wrike Lightspeed is currently available to all Wrike accounts, but we really hope that you are excited about this updated platform and all these features, the new features and updated features that were not available before. So I also wanted to take a quick moment to talk about the resources that are available to you. Those are self-serve resources that you can use to, like maybe for yourself or share with your team. So first of all, we have the Help Center. I need to make this note that the Help Center is actually being updated to Wrike Lightspeed at the moment because we have around like 1,000 pages on the Help Center. So this work is being done right now as we speak, but yeah, it will be made at some point and we will let you know. But even now, you can use the Wrike Lightspeed overview Help Center page, as well as the pages for all of the views that we have discussed today. Another thing that I really wanted to mention is Wrike Community, and it's not only because I'm a community lead and I'm a little bit biased, but actually the community really is a great resource. We have a very kind of live community where there are a lot of users, they help each other, they answer each other's questions, they share best practices, they share their use cases and feedback as well. Of course, we are super welcome for you to share your feedback with us. And one thing that I wanted to specifically call out is the weekly release notes forum. So this is a forum specifically for the weekly release notes that we publish every single Monday. And if you start following that forum, there is a little button there saying follow. So we have actually around like more than 3K customers following this forum already. So if you start following it, you will get an email notification every time we publish a new article on Monday. And this is like a very short form, but with screenshots and everything, explaining what has been released to Wrike in the previous week. And we also share kind of like, as I mentioned previously, just today, my colleague Juan posted a very long and interesting post with a lot of screenshots about the new dashboards. We are going to post one about the chart view as well very soon. So I highly recommend checking out this resource because, yeah, it's really helpful if you want to kind of stay on top of what's going on with Wrike and what's being released. So I can see that we currently don't have any new questions in the Q&A box, but yeah, because we still have a little bit of time, please make sure that you drop us your question if you have one. So let's just give it a couple of minutes. Maybe someone will ask us a question.
And if you don't mind, maybe while we wait, I can show a couple tips and tricks for using table view.
Oh yeah, please do. Love table view.
Right. So we'll make sure people keep bringing your questions in if you've got, but just to kind of fill the white noise here a little bit. If you are struggling a little bit with the interface and changing a value, or maybe wanting to do a drag fill, a select, there is a slight little tweak to how you interact with the new table view that I think you'll find helpful. So when I'm sitting here and I've got a custom field that I want to edit the value of what's there. So maybe I don't want to have brochure here. Maybe I want it to be creative design. I click once, and that's going to give me the option to select one of the other values. But what if I don't want to actually change the value? I just want to select the cell, right? So in order to do that, my recommendation is that when you go into the cell that you desire, we're going to click, hold, and drag a couple pixels over. And that lets Wrike know that you're not trying to edit it, but select the field. And now you have the option to grab the little dot here and do a drag fill if that's what you're looking for. It's just a kind of a little interface tip and trick there for the table view. Okay, some questions came in. Sweet.
Thank you. Yeah, I can see that Andrey has taken over the one about the more sessions. So for now, we have one about my to-do list and whether it's going to be updated to Wrike Lightspeed. To be honest, I'm not sure that that's the plan at the moment. But yeah, we can definitely take this feedback on.
To my knowledge, we have a plan to update the standard, let's say, lists like my to-do and start tasks and so on to the new experience. It's on our plan once we fully migrate to the new table view.
Nice.
Great. Are there any plans for having the ability to set a default value to a field on creation of a new item? So I guess what you mean is a default value that would then be pushed to all items where this field is being used. because I know that, for example, in the community, we had very similar feedback. I remember it. And the latest that I heard from the product team is that they did not have this in plans at the moment because there's still a lot of like other things that have been prioritized. Like, for example, I hope that you are all excited about the dark mode that is coming to Wrike very, very soon until the end of this year. So yeah, there are a couple of things that are on the, short-term roadmap as well as the long-term roadmap. But for this particular one, we do not have an update at the moment.
My recommendation might be to, instead of using the new item here, is to maybe have that custom field value pre-baked into a blueprint that's leveraging that custom item type. That way, and clicking through and getting it creative is slightly different. But if wanting to have those custom field values be pre-baked in there, that would be the recommendation, is kind of do that from a blueprint environment, please.
Great.
Ideas out there, yeah.
All right, let's see what other questions we got there. So, is it possible to stop Wrike from creating live links for email addresses or URLs? I would like to be able to click on a cell and copy it rather than it try and open the link.
So let's see what that was. We were doing that in table view. I'll go back to my setting here. So I believe, oh, and of course I turned everything off. So that was URL. We're gonna go here and turn back on. Let's turn them all on because I don't remember which one it's in. Where did it go? Thought I had that here on this page. Well, it's fine. So I believe the question is, we want to click and edit, not go to the location. Is that right? Sorry, remind me, Lisa.
Sorry, just a second. So it's about stopping Wrike from creating live links for email addresses or URLs.
Right. So like we automatically see the pattern, and you would like to kind of negate it out. I'm gonna guess maybe if we throw stuff in quotes. I have actually never done this before. Oh, nope, that doesn't do it. Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, it is. It is. So yeah, again, this is something that we will be taking on as feedback that we will be bringing to our team.
Oh, yeah, that's promising. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but I guess not at the moment. All right. So we also have a use case creation of a request form. I don't think that, to be honest, we have enough time to kind of see how request forms are created because there's just so much to it, because Wrike's request forms are super powerful. There are so many things. So I think that that's, again, great feedback for us to maybe think about a training session about request forms, right?
Yeah, there's so much going on there that's new and exciting.
Yeah, there have been so many releases lately related to request forms. So I would definitely recommend, again, check out our community. We've been sharing all of these recent updates to request forms, of course, as well in the community. So highly recommend checking that out. And yes, as I mentioned, we will kind of consider like potentially doing a training session specifically for request forms. So yeah, I can see that there is another one for request forms as well. Creation of a form with linked to custom fields and default value set at this stage when form submitted. Okay, so yeah, we will definitely be taking that on, and maybe like in a while we can do like a request form training session. Yeah. So all right. So if there are no more questions, I think that we can wrap it up. Thank you so much.
Comment, if you don't mind.
Oh,
I've been
of course.
sharing it in a chart, but to the questions about where we can see the recordings, and if we could take a look at our more dashboards or a chart view. I still remind that last week we had our annual conference, Collaborate 2023, where during product keynote, we demonstrated how it works. And then we had some breakout sessions, not only on Wrike Lightspeed, which I was proud to lead with our lead product designer, Bob Roberts, where we discussed more not how it works, but the roots of change and why we've done it. But also we had the sessions covering new charts and dashboards, all improvements to automation, and some sneak peeks of new functionality. So you can still visit our wrike.com/collaborate landing page and now access the on-demand recordings. So you can enjoy the recorded demos and recorded sessions and learn more about these new capabilities.
Yeah, and to that point, actually, do you mind if I share my screen super quickly? I just wanted to show that if you go to discover.wrike.com, you will see like a lot of different options here. And one of these options is going to be, let me just show it to you, live and on-demand training. And you click explore and you will find everything like upcoming sessions as well as recorded sessions. So here's how it looks like. Sorry, Andrey, please go ahead.
Yep. Just wanted to add on top. You mentioned it several times about the feedback, and one of the main points of our Wrike Lightspeed session with Bo was how we created all this experience, and most of it was driven by user feedback. So the more we learn from you, from our customers, from our users, the more we incorporate this feedback. So as Lisa said, we have that wonderful community where you can post your feedback to the forum. Our product managers, our product marketing managers, really following it. So we examine what you post there. We make group discussions of how to prioritize this feedback and how to get there. Yeah, and I guess there is an open question and Q&A box about the paid trainings. I know.
Yeah, I was just going to reply to that one. So I'm going to drop an email address that our Wrike Discover team uses. So you are very welcome to, because we cannot see your name here, you are very welcome to just drop them an email and they will be able to assist you with any questions about the paid trainings, the recorded trainings, all of that.
And I guess the question is somehow connected to Collaborate, where the second day was more about paid trainings, but I believe their team can address it.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, we covered the request forms already. So huge thanks, everyone, for joining this session. We really, really hope that you found it useful. Again, the recording is going to be available in a little while on the Discover website. Huge thanks also to Kim, Andrey, and Annie for, for doing this session. And have a lovely day, everyone.
Bye.